for example, the Great Britain pound, and this is all in relation to the US dollar and how much it transfers into. So yeah, that's it. So jumping over the code, the first view controller, which we're actually looking at it over here, creating those variables to actually pull in the connection with the XML data, creating that NSMutable data, and creating that file, and then being able to actually parse everything into an array that we can then go back into and actually pull the data out to fill the table view. We also have the IB outlet for that table view. Yeah, and let's see, the view controller. Here we have, let's see, building that array, which is where all the currencies are getting dumped into after being parsed. We are creating that URL and being able to fetch that data. Here we are, this is when we're actually getting the data to parse. We're going in and get file data, or get file data from file, and I have this stored within the application, data.xml. Here is the parser and knitting the parser. Moving on down, this is the code that runs after the connection to the XML data is established, and basically running through that. Let's see. This is also where the second view controller, I was trying to pass this XML data text over to that second view controller. Actually, what I have is, this is actually simply just static text. It's not updated. So I know I got points taken off there, but that's why I'm having this very difficult time passing the same information from one view to another. And I know, like delegates, it's the whole idea of a delegate is just a little bit difficult for me to understand. And I was trying to actually do properties and synthesizing and being able to retrieve information that way as well, because this data string is synthesized as well. It has a property to be able to pass it through, but it didn't really work. So anyway, I know I got counted off for that. The NS data, so this is where we are actually getting the file name for the particular data where we've stored it, and then this is the actual parsing of that data. As you can see here, I was having, again, this whole idea of building an object and pulling out just particular things within that object. It's such a basic concept, but I don't completely get it. So what I had is I had a rate, and I had also the currency portion, which you see the currency. So right now all I have is pulling the currency, so it pulls that label for each one. I don't have, excuse me, the actual rate, unfortunately. And then this is the same. This is building the table view. So getting that array and the count of the array for the number of table view cells. Again, same thing as the first week's, building that table view cell, allowing a particular cell to actually be selected to go down into right here, the second view detail. I've created an instance of that up here, detail view controller, and then actually creating that popping up effect. The second view controller is really nothing fancy at all, other than the fact that I created these UI web view, UI text view. Interesting thing about the UI web view, it doesn't actually show the XML on here, but it does on my computer. I don't understand that. And some action buttons for the buttons, a web view for that web view right here, text view for the text view. Yeah. And even again, there's not much to it here. See, here's that XML URL. I'm sorry. Here. Whereas I was trying to pull the information in from the data string from the first view into the second view controller, and I wasn't able to do so. Let's see what else. Currency, I know we created that object within here, and I think this is where I'm just getting my whole concept mixed up of pulling it out of here. And then we have the detail view controller, which again is pretty simple. All you're doing is looking at something like that with a back button, a label, another label. This label is dynamic and actually changing within it. So that's it. I feel like this was one of my least successful classes in terms of overall everything understanding, but at the same time I was able to get, I would say, 90% of the concepts. So I just got to go back and research a little bit more for myself. Thanks so much. See you guys later.